Hello and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal. Jason is not here. And I will tell you, that's almost a blessing for we have a guest today that, we simply do not deserve. She is celebrating a major milestone in her incredible empire that I cannot wait to just attach myself to with all might. And so let's just get into our guest, shall we? You know her, we love her. It is the one, the only Two Little Sandwiches.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hello,
Hello.
Stacy.
I didn't even want to like do an intro and say hello. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to get you in with me. The love
I'm
is
here.
thick. You're here. The MVP, the people that you are the woman that makes this whole operation run, in my opinion. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's nice to be with you.
It's nice to be with you on truly a momentous day, which is Two Little Sammys has hit over 2,000 followers. Over 2,000. That's incredible.
Which is
Congratulations.
Thank you. It sounds so silly to celebrate these
No.
things, especially with so many things happening in the world. But like, you got to kind of celebrate the little milestones, you know?
And it's not even a little milestone. Can you imagine doing a show or having to speak to 2,000 people? You'd have to write a script. You wouldn't even be like, let's wing it. I'd have to have a
Yeah.
script.
No, I work in Canadian entertainment. I can't imagine 2,000 people watching anything that I do.
No, yeah, it's incredible. First of all, Nigel's in the chat too. Nigel,
Hi,
we love you. 2,000. It's incredible. And I feel like it's well deserved. And I can say, having also eaten the incredible food that you show, it is out of control.
Thanks, Stacey. And I got to say, I have to thank you. You're a huge driving force behind it. You're always so positive. You always encourage me, and you know, it feels funny. I know we've talked about this before, but it feels funny to like invest so much time in something that you know, just people post a picture of a bug on or something like that. But it really, for me, is about building a community and learning about other people and learning about other things and just trying to have a little kind of ray of positivity every day in my life, and that's really what's been doing for me. And you've been so supportive, and I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you to everybody who listens to the pod that follows.
That's so nice. You know what? Like, I just feel like you are a ray of light on the internet,
Oh,
which can be a full trash fire. But I also think it's a great example of how the internet can also be like a beautiful, wonderful, friendly, no perv zone space. And I think it's also a huge testament to like you having an interest and starting it and like finding joy in it and keeping it going, because so often we get stuck in just the idea, but you did it. Like you did it.
well, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it every day, and it's also like been nice during lockdown because it just gives you something to do every day,
You need
which
it.
I highly recommend.
Listen, I have been I've been doing either everything or nothing, and I'm just finding the moderation in between. A few things a day and then couch
Yeah,
for the rest. I feel like
yeah,
that's the pocket, you know?
that's the place you want to be, I think.
Um, sorry, I'm getting a message from what is it? Haley says, glad you're live at this time. Oh, I thought she meant glad you're alive at this time, and I was like, I think people were concerned about us. No, they weren't. I'm taking my glasses off because Jan, your glasses are what I
No, you're
wanted those
here.
glasses to be, and your vibe is way more appropriate. I'm also realizing I took the dog to the vet wearing a dog sweater, so.
That's like that's like going to see Supertramp and wearing a Supertramp t-shirt.
I was like, I'm ready for service. Um, oh, people.
But I remember that sweatshirt because you also got me a sweatshirt with a
Yes,
dog
I
on it
did. Mm-hmm.
when we worked together, and I made mine into a pillow.
You did, and I saw it when recently at your home. Don't you still have
Yeah,
it in your
maybe.
back in your
It's on my patio.
Yeah, that's it. Black Lab, red sweater, beautiful. This is from a place in Toronto called Black Market. I'm hoping it's still there. There's nothing like going into like a moist, wet basement and they're selling everything for $10.
Yeah. But see, you really pull yours off. I could not. I don't have the wherewithal to pull off a dog sweater.
I disagree because here's what's happening. I would have described myself in my early 20s as maybe like a quirky girl. Like I saw Zoe Deschanel and I said, thank you. You know, you walked so I could run. And
Okay. Sure.
but then when you are quirky and then you hit your 30s, you become an eccentric.
Oh yeah. And then you hit your 40s and it's like, what is her deal?
All of a sudden I'm going to be wearing very wide-legged pants and a lot of pashminas. You know those?
I'm there.
No, you're not.
I bought the widest legged pants in the world and I'm just like, this is great. These are basically pajamas.
No, but do you know the woman I'm talking about? Like when you stumble upon like a poetry reading and there's just like one woman named Janet who's very
That's right.
No, you're Jan. No, I love how whenever I go, if I ever do a joke with a woman named Janet, you're like, every time you're like, that's me.
Because like it usually is, because you're usually joking, but it's like, who's the woman in the grocery store who's wondering like where the yeast is? And I'm like,
I can tell you it's in my dog's ears. Okay, that's what I found out today. Hate to be gross about it. I'm thinking about it. I will say, we were just briefly talking about this before we went live, but we have a similar injury that I would like to bring up. But what I would like to, within context, say that my whole life is truly holding on by a thread. Like I'm fine, but I want to explain my Mercury in retrograde.
well,
Okay, this camera that I shoot this podcast on, she's upset with me. I don't know what it is. She's like, I will not work. This morning, there's a huge curtain above my window. It's about to fall down. I cannot access it. I don't know what's happened, but it's a very long curtain rod. The two ends have removed themselves from the wall and it's being precariously held by one attachment. Okay. Vic's got so much yeast in his ear, he could open up a bread factory.
oh my God, that's gross.
Is it? But isn't that how we make bread?
No.
Not like vaginal yeast. It's like ear yeast. It's fun. It's cute.
Sure.
No, but he's got tons of allergies. And Burger was just like pooing so slowly while a man went, get at it at the park. Like it's just everything about my life. Anyways. Also, I'm really gross because I have like an infected hangnail, which you also have.
Yeah.
We're gross.
Yeah, I'm really gross. Like I appear like put together, but I'm like a walking COVID metaphor. Like I'm like fun top on the top and like sweatpants on the bottom, but that's like my life.
This is my life too. What's going on with your finger?
So I had a hangnail.
Yep.
And I think it got infected because I was picking at it.
Yep.
And it got so infected.
Yeah.
Do you guys really want to hear this?
If you don't,
Okay.
I mean,
You'll tell me if the comments are like, please stop.
I
Right?
will tell you the comments.
I don't want to gross anybody out.
Okay, because I will say I'm a grosser. I'm like, if people are like getting surgery or they're like, this thing's really gross, I'm like, send me a pic. Like, let's unpack it. So you guys let me know where the boundary is.
Yeah. So I got this it got so gross that it got really big.
Yep.
And filled. It looked like a blister. It was like filled with something.
Mm-hmm.
And then my boyfriend Sheldon, this is why I thought you would like it, because I kept going like, this is gross. Like it feels like it needs to be like drained or something. Like I was getting really worried. I'm like, should I go to the doctor? And then Sheldon just went, I'll do it. And I'm like, everything on the internet says we shouldn't do this, but I also don't want to go to the walk-in.
Yeah.
So he did it.
He popped it.
He popped it. And like, he took really good care of it. Like he sterilized everything. He's very methodical. But then the hilarious part is, and this is the part that I thought you would appreciate, is it started to get better. And I'd show it to him and he goes, I don't know. I think we should pop it again. And I'm like, you're just saying that because you want to pop it. And I think he just really started to like the process of it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I'm a popper. I mean, I've learned I'm trying to not pop my face because I used to, any sort of zit, I was like, let me get at it. But we have to protect. We have to protect, the visage. But like, yeah, my finger today, I was like, oh God, this is like really sore. And then I just like twisted it and like squeezed it. grossness, let me tell you.
Did stuff come out?
Oh yeah, it was very satisfying.
Make sure you're like keeping it clean. And I know I don't have to tell you that.
Oh no, but it's important because I'm like, hey, let's go play in the dirt. But I did sterilize it.
Let's let the dogs lick my hand for a bit.
Truly. I'll be eating food and Vic's right over my shoulder. I have no idea what's going on. This is the life that I lead. I'm like, just like, oh, how long have you? But I am trying to get my life together, and I started, and I always talk to you because I feel like you are going to be a massively successful, rich entrepreneur, for which I'll be like, let me live in your mansion. I think that's going to happen for you. Do you not? Oh, Jan froze a little bit.
Anytime.
Oh. Sorry, you froze a little bit, and I just saw you slowly shaking your head in the freeze of no.
Am I back? It says my connection was unstable.
Oh, you're back now. But I started listening to, two things I'd like to bring up that I'd like to update you on. I had weed soda water last night. And wowee. I'm not like a weed person, but a friend of mine was like drinking a soda water that Seth Rogen and his wife, I think, founded the company. And I was like, what is that? And she was like, it's weed soda water. And I was like, well, I must try this. And I'm not like, I can't handle, like, I'm not like high and like going grocery shopping and being like, like I'm like high going like, when will this end? But it was amazing. It was so relaxing. It was like taking the warmest bath. You were just like,
really?
Oh, I had one can, such a low dose. And then I sat back and just watched some YouTube videos as if I was 14. I was just like, and then I ate some chips and one Pop-Tart.
Wow.
What a time.
That sounds like a nice evening.
It was wonderful. I can't recommend it enough if you are looking for a way to decompress in a legal way. Get on it.
See, I have two issues because if you know me, you know that I don't drink or smoke or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But I also don't like soda water.
I know. See, this is the thing. But I also purchased a lemon water. So we'll see.
Okay.
Haley says she's intrigued about the weed soda water. Me too. It couldn't be more like, it couldn't be more basic woman. Like me and my little grapefruit soda water getting a little loopy. But it was great.
That's interesting too, because you're kind of just like slowly dosing yourself, right? It's not like you pop a gummy or you like eat a brownie or something and you've eaten it and now it's inside you. It's like, unless you chug it, you're just kind of like sipping it through over the course of the evening.
Well, no, you kind of sip it. Like the thing about it, and from what I was reading, because I have to research before I'm like, will I lose my mind? Apparently this one kicks in, and I can attest, it kicks in about 15 minutes in. And it was just a very soft, it wasn't like when I get high and then I'm like, I'm high, which kind of hits me if I'm like smoking a joint or something. This was just like it was so hot in my apartment, and I knew the moment I was high when like just a gust of wind came from the window, and I was like, oh my God, sweet relief. So high. Anyways,
okay.
Highly recommend.
That's good. That's good that things like that are out there.
It's good that they're out there, and it's good that it's like such a low dose. So it's like if you have a very low tolerance, like I do, you can have one can of soda water. And if you want to just have more of a time, guess what? There's more soda water in the fridge.
I would love to get that for my mom.
You should. I'll give you a can. Oh,
I can get it, but it's just interesting because my mom is like even straighter than I am, but I think like she would benefit from just like being able to chill out a bit. And I think stuff like that is like beneficial for people.
I totally think so. And I will say that I am the most anxious. I'm not the most anxious, but I have a lot of like anxiety, and especially with like, I think the reason that I'm not so good with the weed is like it is sometimes I feel like I've lost control, or like I mentally cannot like keep my wits. And this, I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, I just want to get into pajamas. Like, that was my only thing.
That's my whole life. Like, I think I need something to be like, go get out of your pajamas.
You need the opposite. You need
I need the opposite.
you need a
I need
swift
like
kick in the butt.
speed or something.
Oh yeah. I remember my
Yeah.
friend once gave me caffeine pills. She got me like what do you call it? A going away basket because I was going to university, and she got me caffeine pills, and I really thought I was like, these were some hardcore drugs. I threw them out. Caffeine pills. Just have a cup of coffee. I was like, oh my God. I was like, where did you get these? As if it was speed or something.
Oh, they're at the gas station. You
Yeah.
just buy them at the gas station.
That's literally what she said. Just the gas. I was like, the gas station? I'm not taking your gas station drugs.
Oh, Stacy, so innocent. Young Stacy.
I'm still so innocent. Like, I was like, when I talked to my friend, like Audrey, about our high school, she's like, oh, well, so-and-so was doing coke or whatever. I'm like, where? How'd they even get that? Like, my first drink was a Mike's Hard Lemonade that my mom got me for prom. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I feel like you and I would have been very good friends in high school, just like holding hands, like wide-eyed, being like, what do you mean someone did hash at the dance?
Totally. I remember vividly the first time going to a bush party where people were rolling a joint with a flip phone light, and in my mind I was like, be cool. Be cool. You want to be at this party. But I didn't, you know?
I remember one time going to a party with a friend of mine who I didn't know very well, but we were like in the drama club together, and he was like this very tall, handsome guy. But anyway, we were just friends, and there was nothing more to it. But like, we went to this party, and he drove, and he'd had a few drinks, and he was like, "Listen, you're gonna have to drive home." And I was like, "What?" And he had this very big, very expensive car.
Oh my gosh.
And so like I drove it home, like quite literally like this. Like I was an old lady, like driving it because it was so big. And it was like a Mercedes or something.
Yeah.
Because I went to a school that had a lot of like rich kids.
Love that.
And it was just like so funny because I was just like, I do not belong here.
I think that's why, yeah, I agree. I feel like there's been so many situations where I'm like, I do not belong here. Like, even in places where I'm like, I've always wanted to be here. And then you get to that place and you're like, no, I don't belong here. There's just something about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that that's part of imposter syndrome now? Or do you think we just innately are like, I don't belong here. I don't like this.
I don't know. I think it's like maybe they walk hand in hand down the beach. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Do you ever follow that woman named Tabitha Brown? Yeah.
She's my favorite.
She's my complete favorite.
I love her.
There's something so soothing about, first of all, she is an actor, which I think is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, she did this post yesterday that I watched you watched it too?
I think we're thinking about the same post. Go ahead.
Yeah, where she was just like, her life has trained her for what she does. And like, I just think she's so freaking inspirational. And I don't want to even be like, it's curated, it's whatever. Like, I don't even want to place that lens on it, but I truly feel like her comments find me. And I feel the same with you, that your comments on Instagram or her videos will find me at the right time when I need to hear that information.
Oh, so nice. She's the best. Like her voice is just very soothing, but she's another, like we were talking about positivity before, and she's like very positive. And like you were saying, she in this post, she was like, I'm an actress, but you know, like now I'm able to do the things that I want to do, not because like I went to school or not because I trained, but because like I followed the thing that I love. I used my life experience. She's a vegan cook, and she's like finding a lot of momentum in that way, which, you know, also speaks to me. But she was just like, you know, nothing against people who went to school, but like sometimes your life just takes you down a road, and like you just by being yourself, you're going to succeed. And she's amazing.
She's amazing. And I think it's also like a reminder to like allow yourself to be surprised as to where your life goes. And like because, not to get too deep on it, but I was watching it and I was just like, oh, like where I thought my life would be or the trajectory that I would want is not there, but that doesn't mean that that's not a success. It's like, look at like all these things that your life has actually trained you for and that you're skilled for, regardless of where you went to school or what you thought you were going to do. And I just thought it was like, this woman wasn't like I'm a failed actress. And she was just like, I'm all of these things. And this has just led me to this platform. And I just feel like I feel like that's so relatable to so many people, especially now that we're in this like pandemic, like in isolation, like we've hit peak mentally.
Yeah.
I feel like, know, it's so like, where am I going? What am I doing? Who am I? What's going to happen? Or I don't know. I just thought it was incredible.
Yeah, she's unbelievable. If you don't follow her, I think it's I am Tabitha Brown.
I am Tabitha Brown, and I'll link it after the podcast in the descriptor. And if you're listening to this, I'll put it in the old descript. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. She's a definite must follow.
She's a must. Like there were times.
Also,
ahead.
She made bacon out of carrots.
Oh yes, she makes me want an air fryer. You and our friend Craig have told me that the air fryer is great, and every time I'm watching Tabitha, she's like, "Put in the air fryer," and I'm like, "I want one."
Do you want to hear a crazy thing that happened with me and Craig yesterday?
Of course.
So I made some pork chops. And I put them in the air fryer, which I'd never done before. And I sent a picture to Craig because that's what we do. We back and forth on the air fryer. Mm-hmm. And then he asked me what it was. And I told him what was in the rub. And he said, "You're never going to believe this, but I made pork chops today the exact same way."
Really?
Yeah. We were pork chop twins.
Wow. You know that I've never had a pork chop that tasted great because my parents cook the shit out of every and all meat.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I believe that.
I didn't know what a medium rare or rare steak was until I was well into my late 20s.
Ditto.
Why? What were they doing?
I think it's because like maybe like people were scared of meat. Like people were scared of rare meat. I know you are. I know I am.
Oh, 100% I am.
But really, I think it's like chicken and poultry is the stuff that you really have to be afraid of.
And I will tell you this: this is just a mixed bag app, and I'm happy we're here. But I don't know if you noticed this, but more recently, every time I have chicken or poultry, if it's not like incredible quality, like I've gone to a butcher, like if I just get it from like the Joe Schmo like Metro or whatever, it tastes disgusting to me. Like it's almost inedible.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff in food.
Yeah, like you can taste it.
Yeah, like when you have like a really great like Ontario strawberry, and they're so tiny versus like nothing against California produce, but you see those strawberries and they're like this.
They're huge, yeah.
And there's like all watery. You're like, oh right, this is the difference between something like locally grown and something mass produced. I think it's the exact same with meat, anything that you buy, really, meat, produce.
It's kind of wild. And that's the thing where it's like, for a while I judged frozen fruit or like frozen like vegetables. It's actually really great because it's like they freeze them at their like main point of freshness.
Yeah.
So it's so tasty.
Yeah. And you can, I don't want to turn this into a commercial for frozen fruits and vegetables, but like they're way more versatile and they cut down on food waste tremendously.
Get on it, people. I'm doing it way more. I'm doing it way more. My friend made, my friend Audrey, she made potato salad and she had peas in it and dill. And I was like, I'm doing this. This is incredible. Frozen peas, by the way. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need to invest more, but it's just like, I don't even want to go to the butcher. So I'm trying to eat more plant-based. Thank you, Tabitha Brown. I was vegan before.
Good. That's the way to go.
It really is the way to go, I think, plant-based food. But it's like I also understand, and it may be my small town roots holding on to me very, very deeply. But it's really hard to maintain sometimes because you just have to make that. It's like when you decide you're going to eat healthy, and then the second you go, I'm going to eat healthy, and then someone goes, do you want this piece of cake? And it's like your first challenge, and you have to go, I'm okay, thank you. Right? I always go, yeah, I'll have the cake. So plant-based, I have to go like, no, you're just not eating meat.
But I think it's just, it doesn't necessarily have to be all or nothing, right? Like,
I know.
Somebody told me that they don't eat meat before 5 o'clock. Like they don't eat any animal products before 5 o'clock. And then 5 o'clock rolls around and they can have a steak for dinner or they can have a bunch of meatballs or whatever. But like, I think it's about finding what works for you.
Totally. And Kayla says this, and it's true. People always force it on you because they're insecure about their own choices. I feel like that happens when people like, I'm sure you get this all the time, or maybe you don't because you don't drink. But I feel like it's a similar thing when people aren't drinking or they don't drink. Everyone's like, come on, just please. It's like, they don't want to. What's the point? Leave them alone.
That happened to me a lot in high school, actually, like to the point of like ruined friendships.
Really?
But I think it was high school, so who knows? But I think it was because like the people who felt that way about me, like couldn't handle my choices, or because they were kind of upset about their own choices and then felt like because I'm not drinking, like I'm judging.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, the like judgment that we impose on others reflecting back on ourselves. You know 100%. What I mean?
Well, I feel like that also, and not even to get, well, I won't apologize. I was just about to apologize for getting deep, but I just want to say before we get deep that pink bikini's back, and like it is overcast here in the city, and I love that she's like, not for me.
It's cool out.
I know. There she is. I love her.
It's 20 degrees.
She don't give a shit. But
is she in the pink bikini?
No, she's in. It's a very much like a safari print, like very orange. It's very nice, and she's got a hat. It's mismatched. I love her. I told you about her friend coming over in the pink bikini too, right? It was 2 pink bikinis. I obviously can't take a picture, but I have to talk about it. The beauty is unparalleled.
I feel like across the road from you is the bizarro universe from your house. Like yeah. Across the road, there's like 2 beautiful women in pink bikinis. Mm-hmm. And then at your house, it's like you and me in weird top knots, dog sweaters, and like dollar store glasses.
We have to bring back, okay, first of all, I know Absolutely Fabulous is still happening, but we are the bizarro ab fab.
We're like,
we're sober. We're doing it all out of just full emotional instincts. If you heard it here, I know Belle and CTV are definitely watching. So your
yeah,
show,
so get on it.
It's right here. But I agree in that it's like that people, and I feel like that is what limits people also from in like trying out, I want to say like engaging in social media, but I'm saying like if you have an idea or a blog idea or a newsletter or a podcast or whatever it is, or a crochet club, like whatever your idea sort of is, it's that insecurity of putting it out there because of the judgment you will receive. And because you will, because people are reflecting their judgment on you. And that stops so many people, including myself, constantly.
And it is true because like, I know even with 2 Little Sandwiches, like it was very strange to say, to like actively start, like it's one thing to just post pictures because like I was making things and I wanted a record of them or whatever, but it's another thing to say, I made this, I want you to look at it. And to do that, I have to like actively seek you out, actively follow you, actively like your stuff. Mm-hmm. So you come back and you look at my stuff. And like we've talked about this before too, like there's a real vulnerability there.
Yeah.
And you think about, like, if you think about it too much, it's like, I just post pictures of like cookies. And that is like, that seems like so frivolous especially in these moments, in these times. But like, at the same time, it's like, you never know what is going to strike a chord with people.
Totally.
And allow them to, like, that allows them to open up, even in the tiniest way.
It's true. I mean, like, I will tell you, like, and not just because you're my friend, I tell you this. And also my friends say this about you as well and content that they watch. But like, it's not just like photos of cookies. Like, it's not just like a thing. It's like these, conversations and these thoughts and this like love and care in not only the photo, but in the caption, but it will find you, and it has changed the trajectory of my day. Miss Visa Decline is in the chat saying congrats on 2000. Love. Visa Decline, incredible drag queen. Follow her.
Thank you. So gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
And every time I see a picture of Miss Visa Decline, I'm like, comb your hair, Jan. She's so beautiful.
Beautiful. Like, listen, I'll tell you, I thought I knew how to do a smoky eye. I don't. I'll tell you that.
And a sweet person, beautiful inside and out.
The sweetest. And just posted an incredible lip sync performance that they created. And so go check out their Instagram. It's really wonderful. It was for Pride. Mm-hmm. Digital pride. Digital pride. But I think that's the thing. It's like, it's really, I feel like we talk about this often, and I got in sort of this like overwhelming rut in the last couple of weeks. And I think it's just being isolated, and you have the privilege of your thoughts, which is sometimes like she's a demon, you know?
Yeah.
And just like this insecurity and anxiety about like engaging with like a community online or you know, of what that means. And so I started listening to this guy named Gary Vee. Have you heard about him? Gary Vee? Okay.
No.
Okay, first of all, don't you wish that you would get to a point where you would just be called like Jan C? But anyways,
I feel like I'm there.
You're there. But anyways, he's this like entrepreneur guy. And like, let me tell me in the chat if you know about him, and like he's a creep, and like I simply can't. I haven't done enough research, but I've come across him, and he's like kind of an not inspirational speaker, but he's just like this huge multimedia like billionaire guy. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he started making his family's business was wine, and he started making wine videos on YouTube that were like a half an hour. And like, anyways, he's built this empire now. He has a media company where he works with huge organizations on like their media and their social media and content and stuff. But he's just like a no nonsense, no excuse kind of person. And really, he's just like, you need to post. You need to post all the time. You can't judge yourself. And he's like, judging yourself or like that insecurity is like a ghost haunting you. That like imposter syndrome is your fear, or you not knowing what you want to say.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. I was like walking the dogs.
Gary V.
Gary V. But like, yeah, so people in the chat have found him. I guess he's like a YouTube, like whatever, but he's just like a no nonsense. Like, I think he thinks it's pretty cool. He swears and stuff. You know, those people who's like, I'm in the board meeting. Like, I created the board meeting. You're like, okay, thank you. But he's just like, you're not posting because you don't want to post. Or like, he was talking to this one guy who was like 23 and was like, I want to do this podcast. He's like, no, you don't. Because if you did, you would be doing it. And I was like, holy shit.
That is the tough love right there.
I know. But I'm just saying that, you know, I feel like when people reduce what they're doing, if it's out into a community, it's like, no, that's really difficult. Like, it's like a lot of work what you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of work, but it's stuff that I like, and then it's stuff that I eat. So
I've gotten to eat it. Let me tell you, I feel so special when I see the post, and I'm like, I've had that.
And that's the other thing is I love having people over. I love being able to like, nourish and nurture and care for my friends and my friendships. So that like often just gives me an excuse to be like, well, I gotta make something for the old Insta, so might as well have Stacy over.
And I'm happy. I'm happy to accept the invite. I was just thinking about you a lot when I was listening to all my Gary Vee, and I'm going to send you some of his podcasts because I just feel like you would do such a great Gary Vee character because you have he doesn't have a mustache, but like my voice, the way that he sounds is like when you put on that little mustache, and I'm that's the character for me. It's Gary Vee. I just think it's also like I want his job because he just goes to like GE or like Johnson & Johnson, and he's like, well, what do you want to say? Get out there, get on TikTok, do 30 TikToks and find the one TikTok that works. And you're just like, oh my God, he's right. And I guess he's making millions of dollars just being like, get on TikTok.
But this is the crazy thing about like our society, especially like our moneyed society, like people who have money to like invest in this kind of stuff, is that it like even like trainers and stuff like that, like it always surprises me how much people with money will pay to have other people treat them like shit.
1,000%.
Like I am very lucky and I'm very grateful for everything that I have. But if I paid someone $500 to like come into my house and be like, you know what's wrong with you? You're just not doing what you want to do. And the reason you're not doing what you don't want to do is because you don't like yourself. And the reason you don't like yourself is because you're not doing what you want to do.
I would be like, you're right.
What?
Yeah. Even though you've been stewing about that same thought, you know, a million times over. But that could be us, Jan. Yeah,
I think I'm ready.
companies should hire us where I yell and you go, all right, and then you're the love. You like,
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
I'm just like, you're a piece of crap because you think you're a piece of crap, and you're like, and you're not. Now and then that's when you pull down the screen and we show the graphics of where their company will go if they work with Cherry and Denise.
Or I say exactly the same thing you say, except I just say it softer.
And
It's
everyone,
like, you're a piece of shit because you think you're a piece of shit. And
totally.
you're not. You know?
And guess what? You're not. There, you know what? It's so true. Like the health and wellness industry, I am such a sucker for. Like any sort of self-help, and all of those books say the same thing, right? It's like when you look at it, it's the same when you look like a magazine, and it's like Adele lost 100 pounds, and it's like, how did she do it? And we all buy the magazine. Guess what? She just ate less and worked out a ton. But we're like, what's the secret? You know, like what's the quick fix?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is we're always looking for that, and it's like we're so lucky to be able to be worried about that stuff.
Oh my gosh, completely.
You know,
Oh,
like, you know, we've been talking a lot the past few weeks, especially about like recognizing your privilege and stuff like that. But like being able to say, oh, I want to like give up meat, or I only want to eat local, or all that kind of stuff. Like that's a huge form of privilege too. And it's like,
oh yeah.
we got to start recognizing that as well, right?
Oh, I mean, literally as a dump truck drives by with all of my privilege. Listen, like it is not lost on me in any capacity, like the amount of like privilege that is within the walls of my home right here. Like where I'm just like talking in a microphone to you about the ins and outs of Instagram and the vulnerability that we must have in our content and what is the community we're building. And Gary V, I had the chance to stumble upon my boy, Gary V. I mean, it all is just like, but I think the reason that like it consumes me in this huge way is I think the internet, like I feel like we feel so alone these days.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what people miss is like building an online community of no pervs. I shan't and can't with it, but like it can be such a powerful thing without it being like a monetary driving force. That's what I think a lot of people, everyone's like, I want a podcast and I want $1 trillion. It's like, why don't you start a podcast and like build a cool community of like people that are of like mind or whatever. And I think you're doing that with Two Little Sammys as well.
Yeah, the people who I've met and I've interacted with on that thing is like, it's just wild because it really truly is. It's like people find you and then you find them. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
it is really nice because really like throughout life, all we're looking for is a connection. And if you look at like Instagram or Twitter as a way to connect and a way to like be a force in the world, like it's a much happier place to be.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it is kind of crazy how like Tabitha Brown is probably like with her family right now, just being like, oh, I have to pick up avocados. And we're going, she's changed my life. Do you know what I mean? Like that blows my mind. Like she'll never know. And she's being talked about on a podcast. Anyways, I'm not making sense, but maybe it's the weed soda water from yesterday that's really opened up my eyes.
It's still with her.
Yeah, I can't get rid of it. Haley has more information on Gary Vee, and I would like to unpack this quickly. He apparently has a trash talk series. He goes garage selling, and then puts the items on eBay and makes extra coin. He flips furniture. Gary Vee.
Does V stand for very industrious?
I think his last name is Vayner. He has a wine company. So he started doing like these wine things and then anyways, he's just built this huge thing, this huge empire.
He's in the wine business and his last name is Vayner, like vineyard?
Yeah, except A.
I feel like he's missed an opportunity there.
Let me see. Gary V. Do you know when you start looking up stuff and then like it changes especially like on YouTube or something and you get into a rabbit hole and then it changes your full algorithm forever and you're like, when did I become a loser? Like what did I got really into there's currently a lot of like makeup drama on YouTube, and sometimes I relax just like listening to it. Vaynerchuk. Thank you. But yeah, and now my algorithm is all like Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson. Was it all a cash grab? Like all these like drama channels, and it's like one girl named Tiffany in her bedroom being like, let's unpack what happened with Jeffree Star. Like just all these drama channels. Anyways.
My algorithm is like full, like, I don't know, 11-year-old girl because I write for a television show called The Next Step.
Love
and
The Next
sometimes
Step.
I'll look up the videos and stuff when they do the behind the scenes or they release a sneak peek or something. And so my algorithm is all, hey, you looked up The Next Step.
So now it's
Would you like this?
look at all these flexible dancers. And you're like, I guess.
Okay.
I did that once. Oh my gosh, what a week. I looked up Little Rascals, Where Are They Now? Ruined my whole algorithm.
But you know that the Little Rascals all died under like mysterious circumstances, right?
What?
It's like I don't know, like an urban whatever, like a zeitgeisty something.
They all died?
Well, the ones that died all died under like strange circumstances. Like one was shot, one was like murdered in a bar fight, like one was, I don't know, one went missing or something. That's the kind of mythos around Little Rascals.
We need you to come back when I look this up.
Are you talking about like the Little Rascals from the 40s, or do you mean like the modern day movie Rascals?
I was talking about modern day movie Rascals, but I also watched back in the day, like the original Little Rascals. Like I grew up with that as well. So now I'm going to have to look that up, and goodbye algorithm, because that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Look up like Little Rascals mysterious deaths or something.
Oh my God, my computer will break. I can't wait. I'm going to look that up. I did look up. So when I looked up what's up with the Little Rascals, I guess they reunited like 20 years after the movie or whatever. And it was so crazy seeing some of the actors going, yeah, that scene was improvised. I'm like, you were 5.
I think when you say improvised, it's like you just said something funny and everybody went, fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, that it's in those moments, and like, not that person is like whatever. Oh yeah. Sorry. Melissa says Alfalfa. This is what reminded me. I saw him come up on my Instagram feed, and he was just arrested. A little Alfalfa for huffing air dust. Those dusters. Yeah. He was, but I don't know if he was put in, I don't know if he was wearing like black and white striped t-shirt, and I wasn't sure if that was just the t-shirt or if like they had put him in
like a funny prison uniform.
Yeah. Like I was like, that can't be.
I think it was probably just a t-shirt.
I
don't
know,
think they
but
actually
poor
wear
guy.
those in prisons.
I know. My heart was like, about him. But it was like hearing like this actor be like, I improvised that scene when I was 5. I was like, am I meant to be an actor? Because because I'd have to eat lunch in my trailer if that's what everyone was talking about. Because
I for sure know that I'm not meant. Again, like you look around and you're like, I don't belong here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you are truly, and I'm not just saying this again, you are, and if you've seen Jan, then you know, truly one of the funniest, most skilled performers I've ever seen.
Well, thank you.
And it's sad to me that the actual industry of it all is such poo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a terrible world, and we're just seeing we're pulling back the veil on exactly how terrible it is for so many people.
So many people. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, yeah. I mean, listen, just to cap off that convo, Jameson just said Old Alfalfa was murdered. My window's open. Someone just heard me. Yikes.
Pink Bikini's talking to her friend being like, oh, dog sweaters in the window again. And she just yelled, Alfalfa's murdered.
Do you think that that's what she thinks of me? That would be so nice.
I really hope so.
Friggin' dog sweaters at it again. She just got soda water delivered. There's weed in it. She keeps open.
I want to hear her podcast.
I bet you it's sexy and it answers all the questions you want to know.
Yeah, it's called like Pink Bikini Files or something.
Oh my God. If I was younger, I would have loved a podcast called Pink Bikini Files, and you just like learn about your period and like the best tampons and like, and just like, how to know if he's just not really that into you. Like she just gives it to you straight. It's a call-in show for sure.
It's not too late. I think you can still have it.
Okay, well, call in.
Yeah, if anybody has a question about tampons or
Yeah. Not to bring it back to Gary Vee, but he does have a show where people he will take callers, and I'm just like, that just seems so scary to me. It's like you don't know where they're gonna be. What if they're like, I don't know, on the toilet? I can't even think, but people said they would watch that. Jan, you have to be my co-host for the Bikini Files.
anytime. I'll co-host anything with you anytime.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, listen, put your questions in the chat. You got any questions about being a woman? We'll answer them.
Yeah, sure. Like the answers won't be great.
The answers won't be great. Haley says you guys are just secretly talking about each other on each other's podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly wish I had the confidence of Pink Bikini because my life would be just so much different than it is, you know?
But do you feel that like Pink Bikini necessarily has the confidence, or do you feel Pink Bikini is just kind of like faking it till she makes it?
Listen, you should see how wide brimmed when she goes full pink bikini. Her hat is huge, and it might be a fake it till you make it hat. I can't quite put my finger on it, but that's for sure. But it's like, when you see people wearing something and you're like, I could never, it's like that is where your confidence is lacking because that's when you need to step up with the pink bikini energy. Just put on the damn thing,
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah. Like I'm wearing some millennial shorts right now, and it took a lot of convincing to get me into these ribcage Levi's, but I'm here and I'm not changing.
Listen, I've talked about my bathing suit before. It is red and it says "Make it fun" in big white letters.
I want that suit.
You can have it. It's at Old Navy. Well,
No.
it was last year.
Here's another conspiracy theory about, not to, this is a new segment on what is it called now? Bikini,
The Pink Bikini Files?
the Bikini Files is my conspiracy on Old Navy because they're always listening to me and they're always like, hey, get in here and get some shorts. And then I go to buy them and they're all sold out.
Let me tell you, I bought kind of like bike shorts from there yesterday online, and I thought of you.
They're always sold out.
It's not great right now because I think they're having a big sale, and I think you really got to get in there fast.
Yeah, but thinking is for my thigh rescue, and I can't recommend this company enough. They're not paying me. I honestly am with open arms waiting to be sponsored by this company, Mega Babe. They're so good.
For your thigh fry?
My thigh fry. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even need an air fryer because it's in between my thighs right now.
She's cooking wings down there.
Oh, yeah. Wings in 10 minutes, baby. Let me go for a quick run with the dogs. I got a pound of wings for you. Yeah, it's really, really great. I've been really loving it. And I will say my natural deodorant, the natural deodorant from that company is so good after I did the detox. But the reason I love it so much is I love fragrance. It's very fragrance based. If it's not your vibe, if that's not your thing, don't buy it. But I smell nice all day. Like I can smell it and it makes me feel better all day.
Oh, that's nice.
Even though I have an infected finger and, all those nasty things.
And there's a weird smell in my house and I don't know where it's coming from.
Right now in your house, for real?
Yeah, I think we cooked something and then it's just like lingering. It's like a ghost.
Listen, you know how I feel about smells. That would drive me bananas.
I know. That's why every time I walk in the house, I'm like, this is how Stacey feels.
I feel like I've really just been talking about myself, and I have the treasure of two little Sammys with me, and how dare I? Sometimes I listen back and I go, shut the fuck up.
It's just pals.
Do you think I'm overpowering it today? I did have a coffee and a half.
No, I feel like this is kind of a real glimpse into what it's like to just be with us.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe not fun. I don't know.
I hope it's fun.
Let us know in the chat.
Listen in the chat. Welcome to the Bikini Files. Whatever you want to know. What deodorant is it again? It's called Mega Babe. It's super cheap if you live in the States, and also if you live in Canada and you just are like you just have had it. But it takes a bit to get to Canada. But it's really great. I highly recommend because you got to smell nice. 'Tis the seas. So Jan, do you believe in do you believe in like horoscopes and like, I know we talk about this a lot, but like, where do you land on that? Because are you believing in Mercury in retrograde? Hate to bring it back to that, but I want to know where you sit on it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess if like the moon and stuff can affect the tides and our menstrual cycles here on the
Yes.
Pink Bikini Files.
Yeah.
I mean, why couldn't the planets also do so? I guess I'm a bit like agnostic about it. Like,
Yeah.
I think that like if you read something in a horoscope and then you're like, whoa, it came true. I think maybe it's just like kind of eliciting some mindfulness.
Right.
Maybe not necessarily predicting the future, but going like, oh, keep your peepers popped because on the 25th, you might come into some money. And then you're kind of open to that. And you're kind of like, not manifesting it, but maybe you're like more open to opportunities that you might not have seen before.
So
or maybe you're manifesting it. I don't know.
So you're basically saying that you believe it's like a Gary Vee situation where he's telling you information you already know, and then you bring yourself to actually letting it land.
No.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm fucking.
Yeah, no. I don't want to give Gary Vee any more credit than he's gotten on this podcast.
No, we absolutely can't. Yeah. Sorry, I did open up just for us the Gary Vee quotes Twitter account, and here are just some samplings. This might be, and I bring this up only as like some horoscopes. Some speakers get confused and want your money. I don't want your fucking money. I want you to win and send me an email that you fucking won.
He's the bad boy of motivational speaking.
He a bad boy.
He's a bad boy.
He goes, I'm not shitting on college. I'm cheerleading for self-awareness. There's no such thing as one thing works for everyone.
He's not wrong.
Not wrong. Accountability is what actually leads to happiness. That's true.
Okay.
These are just some of his quotes.
It's so funny because every time you say Gary Vee, I'm picturing Gary Busey.
In a way.
And now I'm picturing Gary Busey saying that. And honestly, it's bringing me so much pleasure that I think you need to start an Instagram account where you find a picture of Gary Busey and then you just put a Gary Vee quote, like memes. I think you get 1 million followers in like 2 days.
You know what? I'm going to do it just as a trick, just to see if Gary Vee's teachings will be beneficial to my Gary Busey meme account.
God, Gary Busey. Oh, wow. What a trip that guy is.
Can it be called Gary Busey? Like, would you take the advice of Gary Vee if said by Gary Busey? Because I guarantee you would not.
I think it's an interesting sociological experiment. If people started going, whoa, Gary Busey got really deep, like maybe it would turn it all around for him. Maybe he'd be doing a service to Gary Busey.
But it's just like a cutout of him like mid-scream. And it's like accountability is the key to happiness.
I'm very into this.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna start Gary Busey on Twitter. I guess the bio will be if Gary Busey and Gary Vee had a baby, you'd have Gary Busey.
No, I think it has to be on Instagram because you got to see the pics.
Oh, so it's on Instagram.
I think it's all about the pics.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey at Gary Busey.
Yeah. And whenever you tell people, please say the at first. Oh, do you follow at Gary Busey? You follow at Gary Busey, right? Okay, Jan, this is the thing that's going to make us successful and it's going to make me sad. I can't.
Listen, I'm not going back to work probably for a year, so like I'll happily hitch my wagon to this star.
Isn't that wild? Like sometimes I just sit on the couch and I go, what am I doing? I have nowhere to go and no one's expecting anything from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to look up if Gary Busey is available and I will just get the account. Are you going to help in this business?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. I
Whatever
love
you
that.
need me to do.
Of course. So, I had a photo of Gary Busey come up. What's with his face? Have you seen Leslie Jordan? No, is it Leslie Jordan? He's like, who's that really popular Instagram? He's like an older guy. This
Oh, and he was like on like Designing
the
Women
Les
and
yeah,
like,
Leslie Jordan. So there's a
yeah.
video of him screaming at Gary Busey because they were on Celebrity Apprentice together, I think. And he was like, "You don't talk to me that way." He goes, "Oh,
Wow. I
Gary's just
love him.
oh, he's the best."
I remember him, like, this is how old I am, from Designing Women.
I love Designing Women.
And he was great.
I had Delta's many of her memoirs. Didn't she have like 2 or something?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Delta
Delta
Burke.
Burke. Julia Sugarbaker. I can't remember what her actual name is, but when she would go off on one of her tears,
I just like those women to me, like I was never a young girl who was like, "Where's my crop tops?" Like I was just like, "Where is my pleated high-waisted pants and my power blazer?" And like truly, like that was like, and they were such like inspirations to me. Just these bold women. I loved them, you know? Big earrings, big hair.
big hair. Yeah. Shoulder pads like this.
Oh, huge. Just like men never like, never treating them right and them being like, get the hell out of here. I'm going back to my house full of my real estate friends. They weren't real estate workers, but they just had the power of like a million real estate agents rolled into one.
My old landlord was a real estate agent. And when we were looking to get this place, she was our real estate agent. And let me tell you, like, she was amazing and like so terrifying. It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah. Cause I think to be a realtor, you have to be really, you can't like be afraid and you can't take shit.
Excuse me. For sure. And I think there's also a lot of emotional baggage that real estate agents hold. Like when my real estate agent helped me find my shitty garbage apartment, like my bachelor apartment. I only say that because it was like absolutely trash. Like it was trashed when I looked at it and I didn't
Was
know.
this the one that you lived in before this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like gross, like just an absolute dumpster fire of a place before my real estate agent sort of like had them clean it up for me. But I had just met him at this viewing from a referral and we were having coffee and I basically had like tears in my eyes and I was like, I know you don't know me, but like, should I take this place? Like the energy I must have been giving this poor man.
Yeah.
He's now a friend of mine. We've now become friends, but for a while I was like, I think I'm going to kill this man emotionally by accident.
I think like the people that you don't think, like you always think like, oh, therapists must go home with like so much like weight on them and like from being unloaded on. But I think there's so many professions that you don't really get, like you don't really realize like how much of your emotional shit they carry.
Oh my God. Think about hairstylists. Like I think about that all the time.
Hairstylists, massage therapists.
Oh.
Like when you, like I remember working retail.
Oh yeah.
I remember working in a lingerie shop and like, and even a clothing store, like women like would just, you would carry them because there's so much like tied up in that kind of stuff. So much of our self-esteem is tied up in that stuff.
First of all, lingerie is not even on the table for me because it just makes me sweat. My full butt gets sweaty just thinking about like, so you have to, and first of all, I know when people find empowerment, like when I'm like wearing matching bra and underwear, I'm like, get at me world, Delta Burke, here I come. Like I get it. But you know what, like when you put it on, we talked about this so many times on the podcast because it also scares Jason. Because Jason's like, and I never thought about it this way, but it's like, if one partner is fully like, it's lingerie day, then like,
Right.
I've never thought about the other partner's view of that going, well, now the sex has to be really above board.
Yeah. It's like having a hotel room on your body.
Oh yeah.
Like the pressure to, make it a night when you're in a hotel is like, It's often extreme.
Have you ever been with someone, and you have to answer this, but like, because I'll answer it, but like when you're with someone, you've been with someone for a while and you're in a hotel room and you just don't want them to touch you. Like, you're just like, this is a huge bed. Like, I want to take a bath and then I want no one to say anything to me. And I just want to get into this king size bed. But then you have that conversation where you go, do we make it a night?
Well, especially if it's like not a vacation night, like for instance, you've gone away for one evening.
Yeah.
Like, then I think the pressure is really on. But then you see this like huge king size bed. The air conditioner has been on, so like the sheets are very cool. Like you've maybe just come up from the pool, and it's like, oh, I just want to go to sleep.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's being an adult woman.
It is.
Or man, or person.
Of course, but it's just like that look in your partner's eyes, just going like, you both knowing you should probably make it a night, but you both just want to order room service and eat fries in bed and just like don't touch each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just find, anyways, maybe we should call our podcast the Lingerie Diaries. What do you want to know about lingerie? We'll tell you.
There used to be a time where I could just look at a person and be like, 36C.
Can you do that with me?
And be right. I'm not in practice anymore. I could measure you for sure.
I'm usually a 38C, but probably bigger now because of just quarantine and life. You and your boobs, this is just friends now. When you wake up, you're like, my boobs are so heavy.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that on Twitter. Sure. Someone was like, I think it was like a young girl, just like, and by young, I mean like early 20s, but she was just like, hey, is anyone noticing during quarantine your boobs are just getting so heavy? And so many women underneath were like, yeah. And some women were like following the thread, the mystery of the big boobs. Anyways, could you also tell by someone walking into your lingerie store what type of lingerie they would be into?
No, because mostly like if women were coming in, they were just buying bras, like just kind of functional utilitarian bras.
I thought it was like a sexy lingerie exclusive store.
No, like we had nighties and we had like jammies and it was kind of like La Senza, but not as like sexy as La Senza.
Oh, okay.
It was for like, I don't know. I won't say moms, like it wasn't like mom stuff, but anyway, there were nighties and there were like, bustiers and things like that.
Ooh.
But for the most part, like people just bought
bras
and underpants.
I feel like you'd be so good in that sort of place. You would make everyone feel really comfortable.
I loved that job. Like there's always a little secret part of me that's like, maybe I should just like go work a retail job, and not just, but like leave the writing entertainment world and find a job where I can just like sell bras or dresses or something. I think I would really like that.
I'll tell you this. I've absolutely had the same thought. I was like, I sold wedding gowns. I worked at a bridal shop for a little bit, and then I just like stopped going in. No, then it ended. But it was like the cutest little shop. And I honestly, for like a month, like lived my best life. Like I wore cute little dresses to work. I was like, ladies, like I just like so many brides, and I highly recommend this. So many brides came in solo, which I just think is the best thing you can ever do. Because it's so emotionally charged. And like, if you love a dress and everyone else doesn't, they can all like just eat their own hat because like it's about you. But like just making women feel special and like drinking, like giving them champagne and making them feel the prettiest. I was like, I love this job.
Yeah. I loved working in retail. Like, and I mean, it was when I was in university, so it was in Mississauga. So like a lot of the women who would come in would be, and maybe we've talked about this before, would be like, I just need a dress for my husband's Christmas party. And everybody there is like so young and cute. And then they would like feel bad. And then they would walk away feeling good because they found something they liked, you know?
There's nothing better than just having like watching someone just become empowered with themselves. You've just been like, there's nothing wrong with your body. Here you go. Just put this on it. And they're like,
yeah.
Oh, whoa, thank you. Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, Shauna says that she used to work at Victoria's Secret for 6 months, and then they called her asking if she could work Black Friday, and she never went back in. I did that with Lululemon.
That's great. Just be like, nope, bye.
Yeah, I've only done that once, but like the guilt of like avoiding a phone call, but this was before iPhone, so it was just like a little flippy. I was just like, bye, no thanks. Well, Jan, we sort of did it. I can't believe this hour flew by.
Flew right by.
I'm so thrilled that you have reached this milestone. I'm sure I will. First of all, you've already surpassed 2. I've already looked. I've looked a few times today because you're killing it. If you don't follow Two Little Sandwiches already, you're absolutely out of your mind. Don't be a Gary Busey about this and get on it.
This is how my mind works. I've almost forgotten about Gary Busey.
Do I give up on Gary Busey?
No. It's great. It's a great idea.
Okay, so you're going to get 15% or more. We'll negotiate after the deal, after the pod of what it'll be. Just kidding. We're building this empire just out of the love of community.
Look, sometimes you just have to make money-making ventures. We all have bills, right? I feel like Gary Busey. We'll put our heart and soul into it, but he's got to pay the bills.
Should the first post be him going, always be Busey instead of always be closing?
ABV, baby.
Yeah.
Always be Busey.
Always be Busey. Number rule of Gary Busey, always be Busey. I love it. All right. So Kendra says, I missed T9. What's T9? Oh, is that like a phone? Let me know. I've completely...
that's texting, right? When you would have to go...
Oh, yes.
I think that's what that is. Am I right?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Oh, on the phone? Oh, yeah. I guess you would have to be like going through.
Yeah, you'd go...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There was nothing more. I remember I had like my first like cool boyfriend when I got my Crazer, or like I had like the phone that went like, bing, like you pushed it up.
Yeah.
And just like trying to like be sassy and send him sassy texts. And it was just, it took forever to just do anything. Cool butt took like half an hour, you know?
Yeah. Sexts were much shorter back then.
Yeah. P plus V
equals question mark?
Question mark? Why? No? He dumped me because he called me crazy. Anyways, it was fine. I was holding his guitar screaming in the street. So I was in my young 20s. It was fun. You'll learn all about it on Gary Busey. So Jen, where can everyone follow you? Two Little Sammys.
Two Little Sandwiches on Instagram, and also on Twitter. You can get me at Jan Caruana. And if you care about things that aren't food, at Jan Caruana on Instagram as well.
And can I ask one little quick question? Are you still doing Because News? Is that done now for the summer?
So yeah, we did our last Because News on, this will be the last Because News this week. Maybe they have a comp show for the long weekend. I'm not sure. But yes, it comes back in September. And I highly recommend listening to that on CBC because it's hosted by Gavin Crawford, who's very funny. And it's just a really great team. Because
News is so great. If you haven't listened to it, treat yourself. Jan, Botting. I believe Nigel was on. Was Nigel?
Nigel's been on it.
So many amazing people have been on it. Friends of mine and just people I love and adore. So check out Because News. And Jan's a big part of it. So check that out too. All right, Jan. Well, congratulations. I look forward to the empire and everything that comes to you. And please don't forget me. I will see you all on Friday with Mr. DeRoss. Hopefully he's back and he has a new home. We'll find out. But other than that, be well. I'm looking for the screen here. Found it. Adore you all. We will see you on Friday. Bye.
Bye.